Hi, I am Patrick van der Meer, Visual Coach, and I tend to do a lot of stupid testing. That's simply because I sometimes do not know what I'm doing, so I need to learn, and then while learning I make more mistakes and then things get out of hand. So, for example, if you play with Blazor, like I do, and you have a Blazor app, it's called Blazor app whatever 2, number 2, you probably do create, you select some more stuff, and you start playing with it. And then you end up with a lot of crap on your disk. So every once in a while you just click and delete, and you delete all these test projects. But what stays behind is usually these databases over here in the SQL Server Object Explorer. Right, so how do you get rid of all of this testing stuff? So let me first show what happens when you run this. So we have the Blazor app 2. There is no database Blazor app 2, not even if I refresh this. So this database is being created the first time I run this project. So over here, and if you probably know when you go to register and you register a new user, then you will get a web page telling you that there is no database, and if you please want to run a migration, so it can look at the database context and say, oh, you want this database, and then it builds the database. So that's over here. So you say apply migrations, it's going to apply this migration, you refresh the page, get warned, and then okay, you can confirm, and now I can log in because there's a database. So all good. And if you look then at this list over here, Blazor app 2 is not in here yet, but if I refresh and I open, I have this Blazor app 2. So how do you remove that? Well, if you're in this application and you make mistakes and you want to restart this again, you can go into the database context and give some commands over there. So every time you run it, it will make a new database, that kind of. Or you can simply say, you know what, drop database, and you type it into the Package Manager console with the proper project selected. So if you have your database context in some other assembly or another project, then make sure you choose this project and then say drop database. So what it does now, it will just drop the database until you are being reminded, are you sure you want to do it? Yes, I'm sure you want to do this. So now it is dropping successfully this database, and if I refresh this list over here, this database called Blazor app 2 with a lot of numbers after it is not there. So what if I want to delete any of these? Well, can I just go on here with my mouse and say delete? Yes, I can. But that is not the proper way to do it. You will always have then, when the project starts again and it tries to build this database again, it then suddenly says, well, there is still a database on the disk, because this is only removing the reference here in the SQL Server. So the proper way to do it is actually saying, well, you know, this Super Blazor, I know that the project that originally belonged to it, it is already deleted. So what if I simply say to this application, although it might not run because it's a completely different database, what if I just say, you know what, this is your database. So where do you do that? In the app settings, where the database is actually set up. So in this case, this is the name of the database. Let's just replace it. All right, save this. And now I can certainly say, you know what, drop the database. It will look for this link and say, you sure you want to do that? Yes, I'm sure I want to do this. Right. So now when I look into this list, I refresh it. So we had the Super Blazor, this one, right? Is the name. If I refresh this, Super Blazor is gone. So this is how you actually can easily manage all of this without making too much a mess of your system. I hope you enjoyed this.